Hey, what's going on, everyone? Welcome to Trust the Process, where we talk all about determination, resilience, and perseverance. If you're enjoying these interviews, drop a like on the video, comment down below, and subscribe to the channel because I've got loads more content coming up, and then you'll be notified every time I upload something new. Today, I'm joined by the actor, writer, and director, Lee Armstrong. Lee and I actually did a really great Natter with Nilan video earlier, so make sure you check that out. Lee, welcome back to the channel. Thank you very much for making the time again to speak with me.
That's all right.
It's great to have you back. This is Trust the Process, where we talk all about determination, resilience, and perseverance. So obviously the last year that we've had has been incredibly difficult for a whole load of reasons, for a whole manner of people. And I think one of the hardest hit have been people in the creative sector, particularly people starting out, whether it be in film, TV, theatre, whether it be in front of the camera, behind the camera. And I think a lot of people maybe were sort of scared off in the beginning because there was a lot of uncertainty, and it kind of seemed like people might have to give up on their creative dreams, if not for the foreseeable future, maybe for the next few years, because we didn't know what was going to happen with the industry. And yeah, I mean, I think we've moved away from that. It feels like normality is setting back in. And although, you know, people aren't shouting about it, it kind of seems like the industry is going back to what it used to be. And it hopefully that means opportunities and jobs for people will also go the same way. But I still think there will be people out there that are really struggling to get their first steps, you know, in the creative field, or maybe even people who have lost their jobs in this time. And that might lead them into feeling that they might want to give up and maybe, you know, pursue something else. Has there ever been a time in your career where you felt like giving up on your creative ambitions?
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, basically all the time. I have it's just a constant question in my mind, like whether I'm doing the right thing. I've probably had it about 4 times today, to be honest.
Wow.
It's just it's a constant worry for me whether, you know, I don't, because all my mates have got, like, you know, left school and got proper jobs and stuff, like, so it seems like I'm you know, work 9 to 5s and that. Just sometimes I do think, like, am I just completely taking the piss by wanting to do this? Like, should I should I be a bit more serious and get, like, a proper job and, like, where I can, you know. But yeah, I just moan about it, and I sort of, you know, say to my girlfriend, I'll call my mum, I'm like, but I never do. So I don't. I haven't done it yet. So yeah.
So it's a constant feeling that you have.
Yeah. I think so. Yeah, I think it's like, you know, when you come from a certain background or whatever, it's like there's not many people decide to do this as you know, kamikaze-ish to, like, really commit to trying to be an artist. So I often just sometimes think, oh, maybe I, you know, should just go and be a teacher. You know what I mean? Like, good job, great holidays, like, apparently it's rewarding. But I also think I probably hate myself. So,
was there ever a moment where you felt like this could be the moment where I do sort of pack it all in?
No, well, again, I mean, honestly, it comes into my head all the time. But I think I had a bad year a couple of years ago. But then I just started making my own stuff instead. So that's sort of, yeah. So the sort of I think the anxiety about failing or whatever is the thing that drives you to find new ways of making stuff and making your own work, and not allowing the sort of way that the nasty way that the industry works. Just trying to find ways to circumvent it so that you can get your head above water a bit. But yeah, I just think, like, constant doubt is, I mean, you know, maybe, I don't know. Actually, you know, you did say that there were people out there who never feel doubt, and I do have actor mates who are like that as well.
They just never feel it.
Yeah, they're just like, no, like, this is, you know, this is what I was, and I'm like, God, that's amazing that you, like, think like that. But no, I'm in constant self-doubt about about being an artist. I love it.
If that thought is around frequently, what is it that you think stops you from from actually acting on those thoughts and stopping doing what you're doing?
I think I just know I'd be so miserable if I wasn't doing it. Like, I think that, desire is tangible. Like that thing, that wanting to make stuff and wanting to make stuff better, and having a life goal and having something to, a vocation that you're aiming for is rewarding in its own way. Like, it gives my life meaning. Whereas I know, if I didn't have that, and I just had a 9 to 5, I'd go insane and probably, drink myself into an early grave. So I think, like, it makes me, it brings happiness to my life as well. And it's so rewarding. You go from, especially as an artist, when you're smashing it, like this, like when I played the lead in a national theatre show like a few years ago, and Warhorse, like big theatre show. So like you track like a king, like people, you've flown around the world business class, like, their moments, like you're a king, but then you go from being a king to a pauper within like a week of you not like having that job anymore, like going. I remember, like, I think a week after, or a month maybe after Warhorse had finished, I was doing like in a coffee shop again, and some old person was, I don't even drink coffee, but some person was like kicking off because the coffee was crap, and I was like, you know what, like a month ago you would have been paying 90 quid to see me on a stage over there, and you're talking to me like shit, like, so you really get to like, and you meet some pretty weird people, and I made, like had dinner with like the ambassador of South Africa. It's like, when are you ever going to do that? You know what I mean? Like, so yeah, it is rewarding in weird ways, and you get to travel. I've been to every city in the UK probably.
Wow.
Like good and bad cities, but but yeah. So I really, it is rewarding in weird ways. So yeah.
I mean, it sounds like you've got the right mentality and attitude to be able to deal with the highs and lows. So I think the highs, as you just mentioned, are really difficult to sort of imagine, and then the lows can be quite crushing. It sounds like you've got a really good way of dealing with that, which is great to hear.
I hope so.
I think you do. So, I mean, with that being said, with having such a great attitude towards the film and TV industry, what advice would you give to people who maybe aspire to do what you do, aspiring writers, aspiring directors, aspiring actors? What advice would you have to them who feel like in this current climate, they're not quite sure where they're heading and they might want to give up on these creative ambitions?
Yeah. Well, don't give up. If you don't give up. Like, I find it kind of hard to be given advice because I don't really know the answers myself. Like, I feel like I'm still go ask Danny Boyle. Danny Boyle will give great advice. That dude's, I listen to Danny Boyle, but I'm not sure. I think just work. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, work hard. Like, enjoy. Like, what if you're really committed to doing this, then like be honest with yourself every morning. Like, and I am that, because sometimes I tell myself off quite a bit. I'll wake up and I'll be like, I've done nothing today. I've done nothing creative today, and I feel bad about it. Like, I don't think that's a bad thing either. It's just be aware. Anyway, but I think be honest with yourself. Like, are you actually working? Yes, you've committed to this life. So are you working hard at it as well? Like, are you actually making stuff? Are you trying to make stuff work? That's all I do. And and I have had peaks and troughs, I'm no expert. But
do you think you're quite hard on yourself in that respect?
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's like I think it's probably like a nasty mixture of like being like overly ambitious, but also at the same time like being quite good at beating myself up as well. So yeah. But yeah, I think just work. You can only work hard, can't you? Do you know what I mean? You can only try your best, and then equally don't beat yourself up like I do. But I can't give you that advice because I do it myself. Like, if this is what you want to do, don't give up. Work hard, and you will get rewards eventually. I hope.
Definitely. Something that you said earlier about people from similar backgrounds to yourself you know, they don't necessarily try and go down the creative paths. And I think for people that do, there tends to be this thing called imposter syndrome, where you don't, you know, you might have gotten in, or you might have done something, but you still don't feel good enough because you look around and you don't really recognize maybe what you see. What advice would you give to people that are maybe going through that, and they maybe don't feel like they deserve to be where they are, or they don't feel worthy of, you know, where their career has led them?
Yeah. Again, I mean, well, you know, like I suffer from it, and I think, but I'm not even sure. I think everyone suffers from it in a weird way. I think it's like a really cruel. I think the industry is just the way it is, that you're either in it or you're not. You're either like, you know, I do wonder whether there's like directors who won BAFTAs back in like the late 80s who haven't worked since, whether they're sat around being like, oh, I wasn't really a director. I only won one BAFTA. Do you know what I mean? I didn't win loads of BAFTAs. Like, I just feel like it's you know, if you're an artist, you're so ambitious that like, when you're not in your dream scenario, when you're not in the king dream scenario position, then, you know, you always feel like you're not quite in the loop a little bit. I just be careful, like, that you're not, again, and I'm saying this advice, but I suffer from it myself. Like, be careful not to, like, I mean, yeah, it feels really like hypocritical me saying it. Just, you know, don't look sideways. Like, I'm always happiest when I'm focused on like what I'm trying to make myself, like, and that's actually becoming productive. That's when I'm happy. And I definitely feel that more imposter syndrome when all of a sudden I'm looking sideways and being like, I mean, I found myself the other day being like like checking out like how old Billy Connolly was when he like finally hit success. I was like, oh, he's 34. I was like, great, I've got time. Billy Connolly took until he was 34. But yeah, you know, it's just about the work. I think just focusing on the work, working hard, and trying to make good stuff. And that's the stuff that, like, you know, it's going to make you feel happy, you know, forever. So yeah. But I've got no advice for imposter syndrome because I suffer from it. So.
Well, I definitely think the don't compare yourself to others is a big thing. It's a very difficult thing to do. I think everyone's guilty of it at some point. It doesn't do anything for your happiness or your mental health.
No.
And it doesn't change your position. But as you said, concentrating on the work, concentrating on doing good work and work that you'll be happy with for a long time. I think that's the key. And just keep going with it, I suppose.
Yeah, I think so too. And you know, yeah, and there are people who don't have imposter syndrome, and I don't think, I'm not even sure if it's a class thing. Like sometimes I've been in rooms before where I have been surrounded by you know, say privately educated people or whatever, and there's been a certain conversation going on, and I have been a bit like, oh god, look at the room I'm in here. But sometimes I'm in a room where I am equally surrounded by a bunch of privately school educated people, and, you know, there's not like I feel part of the group. Like, it's not, I don't think it's like a, yeah. I think imposter syndrome is just something that everyone in the industry feels, for various different reasons. I don't know, maybe maybe Christopher Nolan. It'd be great if Christopher Nolan feels imposter syndrome, wouldn't it? Do you know what I mean? If he's in LA right now, like, he's being like, God, like, yeah, I just don't fit in LA. Like, my movies are too dark for LA, you know? Like, that would be great, you know?
I mean, I'd love to get any sort of insight into what Chris Nolan thinks on a normal day.
Won't we all? But yeah.
Lee, thank you so much for your advice, your encouragement, and your insights. I really appreciated it. It's been really enjoyable to chat to you. So massive thank you for you to come on the channel and chat with me.
That's a good dude.
Guys, like the video, comment down below if you've got any thoughts or questions, and subscribe to the channel as I've got more interviews coming up. And yeah, you'll be notified as soon as I upload a new one. So yeah, I'll see you guys later.